the sports business hangout chat, but tonight I have a little twist here, and I'm gonna pump her up a little bit. We're gonna do 3 topics, 3 questions, and then I'm gonna open it to the floor. But first, I'm gonna introduce Jessica Northey. Now, how do you introduce someone that has a bigger clout score than Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Tom Cruise? Pretty impressive. How about Twitter followers, folks? She leads every NFL team, every single one. The number 1 NFL team has 310,000 Twitter followers. She has 358,000. This lady has more Twitter followers than the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome, Jessica. We're going to call you America's team. First, my first question is, how the heck did you do it?
Naked pictures.
Yes, yes. Put stuff on right now, Charles. That's a way to start the film. Boom.
That's the exact same reason why no one follows me.
See? Yep. See how it rolls? Actually, I did it one at a time. I've been on Twitter. I asked Amanda that the other day about her Google Plus, but it's kind of like just one at a time. I started on Twitter 3 or 4 years ago, and just was there and talked to people, followed people. They followed me back. Kept the conversation going. There's not really. it's not. I don't even know what the secret sauce is. It's like, I guess, just be yourself, have fun, tell the truth, make it matter, don't be boring.
But it has gotten your attention. What's interesting, you started with CM Chat is really let's talk a little bit about that. I've only got 2 more questions, and it's open to the floor. Miguel, you missed the first part. My wife told me to be nice tonight, so I'm going to be a gentleman as a host, so you're actually going to be able to say some things tonight. So he loves that. So she started with CM Chat, Country Music Chat. Tell me how you came up with that, how that's gotten so big, because that's mainly your background.
Okay, well, about this time last year, I was talking to Matt Collier, who started Blog Chat a few years ago, and I said, Matt, do you think that people would respond to a chat that was like entertainment and was about a music genre? Then he said, yeah, I think that might be kind of interesting. So I talked to a few people and tried to plot like what it would look like and how to make it work. And the first week was like meet your neighbor, just everybody come and let's talk about country music, what we like, and it was a big cluster, what. And then I think the next week I had Larry Paragus from Sony Music, who had discovered the Dixie Chicks, Montgomery Gentry, just a ton of people. I had Larry on, and he's known as like Mr. Twitter in Nashville. And so it really legitimized country music on Twitter and doing a chat. And he brought one of his artists. And then people started saying, hey, how do I get an artist on? What do you want? And then I have like the Oak Ridge Boys reaching out to me, Barbara Mandrell's people, and I got Charlie Daniels. It's been...
Reba was on the other day.
It was Reba's... what's her... From Melissa Peterman. She played Barbara Jean on Reba.
Oh, okay.
She has her own TV show on CMT called The Spelling Bee.
And then,
but yeah, I think Reba...
And then everybody watching and say, well, okay, she's country music. But then all of a sudden you're now into the sports world. You don't have to say the teams or if you want to, whatever, but you've worked with 2 NFL teams in the past year, helping them on game day on Twitter. How did that come about?
Well, the really cool story, like what happened was about a year ago this time too. Everything happened a year ago. I was on Twitter. I'd always been following the Dallas Cowboys, and I would retweet them and talk about them all the time. And the guy said, well, why don't you follow us? And I said, quid pro quo, why don't you follow me? And if you go to my favorite tweet, it says, guess what? Guess who's following you now? And they took a picture of a big bag of footballs, and they're like, the Dallas Cowboys. And then I tweeted something about the cheerleaders, and he's like, and the cheerleaders, we're following you too. And I started talking to them, and the guy that does their social media had kind of seen what I was doing with the country music chat and said, well, what would you think we could do with game day chats, or what are some ideas? And it kind of started there, and then he referred me to the Houston Texans, and I just, I don't know, I don't know a lot, what makes things, happen, or what makes one person more fun to watch on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but I know that, bringing people together, it's all about the fans, and that's, what I do with country music chat, whether it's football, whether it's kites or I don't know, collecting Bobble Doll, Betty Bop boop heads or whatever. It's just about what brings you together. What are you passionate about? And let's all talk about it together at the same time.
That's awesome. All right, let's open the floor. Probably we maybe should start and be polite, and someone from Canada always has to go first, right, Amanda?
No. That's we let other people go ahead. That's but no, I'm just happy. Me and Jessica have been talking for a bit back and forth here, so I'm actually happy just to pop in and hear her story a little bit. So that's all I have to say for now. I'm just gonna listen for a bit. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Anybody else want to jump in? The floor is open. Don't be shy.
Is it?
With your game day, this is Brad here.
Hi,
With
Brad.
your game day chats, what was the main thing that worked best for you as far as engaging with fans on game day?
Oh, I think that the best thing to do on a game day chat is, well, first of all, you have to figure out the hashtag, like a hashtag. And I have to say, like, the experimentation that was done throughout last year in the season, I think that learning from things like going forward, I think something really, really simple, like, would be the best, you know, in creating a hashtag, like you're at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Right.
I think it'd be like AMS chat, Atlanta
Right.
Motor Speedway, whatever, and constantly keep that out, you know, and promoting it during the races to everything, putting it on mailers, having it at the game. I think there's a lot more, at the race, I think there's a lot more that could have been done, but everyone's experimenting, and one of the issues that we ran into with both franchises, I think, that they'd ran into was, like, the software we use, like, whether it's TweetChat or it's Bitly or it's, what's the other one I use? Even any of them. Yeah, whatever you're using, if it's off your tweet deck, other people are selling ads. So trying to take that chat stuff and then putting it into your own, like your website or whatever, and coding it like inside.
Mm-hmm.
I think we experimented with that for CM Chat, but because you want to maybe be able to skin it and do stuff, and I think the technology's really not been built yet, because the other drawback about using TweetChat is it's gone, like it's a screen, 100 tweets like that, and like my chat, you can't use it because we do 2,000 tweets in 1 hour and it blows it up. So you kind of gotta. I think right now the technology's still, we'll figure it out, but most importantly is asking them 2 questions. Like, I think trivia works really good. I think, like, getting them to interact with each other if you can. Getting sports stars, like if you were going to do an Atlantic Motor Speedway, getting people to, come and talk, like whoever. I get celebrities draw. They make good crowds.
I like your point on keeping it simple, like just SM chat or whatever it is. It's hard to come up with that stuff. Sometimes shorter and simple seems so seems, oh, that's so easy, but it can be tricky.
Right.
And one advantage we have, in a way, is that our Sprint Cup Series race sponsor from last year returns this year, so that has enabled us from the very start to use the hashtag for that race, even almost since last year's race was over with. So we're able to, for example, right now we'll use a hashtag pump out race weekend. So
that's right.
A big advantage from that standpoint.
Hey, Lou's watching the show. Hey, Lou, tell everyone Lou's watching the show on YouTube. Awesome.
Hey, Lou.
Hi, Lou. Where did Hugs guy go? Hugs.
Bathroom.
He's on the phone somewhere.
Is that him right there? Oh, Jason. That's his name, Jason.
Yeah. What happened to Jason?
Oh, yeah.
You scared him off.
I'm sorry. Hey, your thing's backwards, Miguel.
It's backwards again? Great.
How do I get one of those?
Charles will hook you up.
Yeah, Charles will do it.
Charles,
Can I have mine forward though? I'm just saying.
But he didn't do Miguel's.
That's okay. I don't know. I care.
No problem, kid. No problem.
How important do you think, Jessica, this is Ken from Knoxville, how important do you think it is to have like a descriptive hashtag though, so that it, like I do a ticket sales best practice chat, and my hashtag's social for tick sales, because I wanted to make it something that was descriptive, so if someone saw it, they would have kind of an idea. I mean, I understand making it short and sweet, and I try to save characters too, but I wanted to make it descriptive. But if you're doing something for a team, for example, I mean, how important is that to make something, or for an artist, for example, you know, make it something that's a little descriptive about what it is. Does that make sense?
I don't think it matters because most of the time you're putting your audience's eyeballs on it, so whatever you want to do. I would always advise against weird spellings, like if you're going to spell ticks, I mean, because T-I-X, I mean, yeah, I guess most people would know that. I mean, with spelling stuff, that's what I always am like, watch out for clever spellings and the number 4 and number 2. Like, I think people want to be like, we're 4-2 or whatever, or the in there, and I think you just got to spell stuff out, or like, I mean, I went simple. I went CM chat, country music chat, but I mean, I don't think that you have to. Sports is what is your hashtag again? It's
social for tick sales.
Is it TIX?
TIX.
Social,
yeah.
social for ticks
Sales.
sales with an S.
Yeah.
That might be a. Does it work right now for you, or is it not
Yeah,
working?
we're small. I mean, we're doing about 300,000 impressions.
If it works, it ain't broken.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying going forward and other stuff with clients I work with and things like that, with, you know, trying, you know,
I think she has a good point, short and sweet.
Drive people to their hashtag. It really doesn't matter what the hashtag is, right? It could be 1, 2, 3, you know?
It's your hashtag. I always would recommend going to look at there's like a hashtag, not a registry, but it's like a Google Doc, a master doc that somebody's made. I can send you the link, and you can go through and look and see what's taken or what's available.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
Yeah. No
All right,
problem.
Lou's asking a question from Twitter to you.
Lou. Hi, Lou.
Lou, by the way, everybody knows Lou here, but for those of you who don't, he used to be, he's an author now. He's got a sports agency, and he used to be the chief marketing officer of the New England Patriots. So did that for over a decade. And his question to you is, what about tweeting NFL teams during the game, and what would you advise them to do?
I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. There's going to be the way that works for you. I would advise like getting in and talking to people, because so many people are afraid to make their stream dirty, and they want it to just be this list of like certain tweets that are only, you know, things that are going on with the game. So maybe have different Twitter accounts. Would be, you know, one could be like, we're not going to do any, what are those called when you ruin it for somebody? Spoilers. Like, we're not going to put any spoilers and scores here, or this is going to be play-by-play. I mean, you could go big here, and each stream could be sponsored. I mean, there's endless opportunities. It's a matter of what you can imagine and you want to build and what you can maintain. And
what about players on the bench and stuff that don't play?
I don't know. Are they allowed to have I don't think they're allowed to have cell phones on the field, are they?
No, I'm just saying, what if that was, would you think that the league that would be just an incredible...
It'd be a good PR move, but it'd be interesting to have a PR person, but I mean, you got to make sure to vet the player, you know, can he spell right? Is he, you know, good? You can, like, how likely, you know, the person that's on the bench happens to also be able to put a sentence together. No offense.
Kind of like, well, think about what NASCAR does with the listen to pit crew and all those folks when they're chitter-chatting back and forth. I think it's awesome. You would probably know a lot about that.
Me or him?
Brad.
Yeah, I mean, you can listen online to if you buy you buy a subscription per month, you can click to the maybe 10-second delay of the radio scanner transmission between the drivers and the team.
You know about this, Jessica, what they do?
And,
oh, yeah.
You know,
isn't it awesome?
Yeah, at the race you can get a scanner and listen in, which can be good and bad.
Awesome.
I mean, there are a few teams that have to have a disclaimer when the race starts. Essentially,
don't listen to Tony Stewart. No.
Yeah, don't listen to Tony Stewart. I mean, don't listen to Dale Jr. I mean, it's infamous. But yeah, but as far as the Twitter thing, I mean, obviously the big, well-publicized thing was with Brad Keselowski earlier this year at Daytona during the rain during the delay when Juan Pablo Montoya blew up the jet truck.
Mm-hmm.
Keselowski's tweeting pictures from inside the car and everything else and all that, and it's really blown up. I mean, you know, it's not uncommon to see drivers. I think one of the pictures that got tweeted out this morning by one of the pit reporters was outside Jimmy Johnson's transporter that said, his little 1-year-old daughter's nap time is 1 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Please do not disturb. So, just kind of small insight like that, so you can never do. I mean, from the NFL side, though, I mean, why can't you do something similar to what you do with the sideline down there?
Mm-hmm.
You can, those pictures and stuff. I mean, I don't know what
Sideline reporters are now tweeting now. They need to be.
Yeah, them out. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. I mean,
Jason, you're back from your break. Whatever you were doing, we're not going to ask too many questions. Throw a question at Jessica. What do you got?
Wow, put me on the spot like that.
If you take a 5-minute break, you got to be put on the spot.
I was taking my puppy for a quick bathroom break.
Okay.
I was actually curious as it's transitioned from MySpace to Facebook and now to Twitter and services like G+ and what we're doing right now. What do you think is the next frontier? I mean, I feel like a lot of it is went from Instagram with the photos, and now you have Touts and this Hangout where it's more of a video-driven service. What do you think is the next?
Video.
Let's say next year. What's going to be the next medium that we're all going to be using?
I think we'll be doing this for a while because you guys are really we're in it, so we feel like everybody does it. But I worked in radio and TV and that stuff for the past 15 years, and I speak at radio conferences and talk to whatever. They're still just figuring this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us and stuff, things are going to get more niche, and I do think like stuff like sports biz chat, country music chat, I think things that are more segregated because of all the spam, you're going to see people segregating. Communities like what Amanda's built with the Girlfriend Social, you're going to see a lot more specific niche communities. And then radio and TV, you're going to still, I would love to see a universal hashtag. I think that would be incredible, like something that Facebook, Twitter, Google, but I mean, I don't know how that'll happen, but I do think lots of pictures. I tell all my clients, like celebrity-like type driven clients, that picture, like we're not viral, we're not looking for viral, we're looking for visual now. It's all it's all about that great pic from behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that out there, and then the videos. Like, I'm not good at this. I suck at vlogging and I suck at video, but creating like once a week webisodes. I think that is like we're gonna TV cable screw that stuff. That's gonna be the past. It's gonna be going to like Amanda's channel, my channel, Jason's channel, your channel to go get a new show each week. I think.
Yeah, I think that's why it's called old media and new media.
Right.
And what's interesting too is now the TV stations and stuff are starting to integrating social media within their shows, within how they interact. Come follow us on Twitter. Tell us your opinion during the show. They've got to make the shows interactive or they're going to die because it's no longer one way. It's a two-way communication.
Yep.
And even the TV shows are doing that.
This guy right here, his name is Stephen Clark at S. Clark. I'm typing it up for you, WXYZ. He is an ABC anchor, and he does the back channel at the WXYZ in Detroit. It's amazing. I was at dinner. We were speaking at the Arbitron conference. We're at dinner in Washington, D.C. One of his followers or whatever tweets, hey, there's a fire at this warehouse in Detroit where he's from. So he calls the news station, lets them know. He's in Washington, D.C., fires in Detroit, and his news station still first on scene. I mean, these are reporters that are taking advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the future. And even I think like one of the things to be careful for the NFL and for anybody who wants to get into professional sports is to watch your image. Because if you could be the most talented athlete in the world, but some of the things that people are putting out online, once you become a big star, there's anything you can do, whatever you want, right? I mean, there's these different rules. But if you ruined yourself and you put a lot of bad stuff and you're a potty mouth and you are cussing and showing pictures of your junk online and doing weird things, when that team goes to drafting and looking at you, they're going to be looking at all your socials. And so I think, like, for the future of sports, that's one of the things, like, that is going to jeopardize a lot of careers or potential careers.
So you're talking about interacting TV and Google Plus or social media. I just posted this one. You can go back and look at it later. And a lot of people know who Sarah Hill is, but Fox LA does it, where they do the newscast, and they'll bring on guests off the show, I got to interview Ice Cube the other day. Yeah, cool. But it was kind of neat because he comes on and the anchor's interviewing him, and it's like, okay, it's open to the floor. And I just posted that one where Sarah Hill's doing a show. You're watching them anchor the news, and then they go, okay, what do y'all think? It's really interesting, really interactive.
Yeah, Yates, you got me hooked on the LA folks. I mean, there was like a week there where we had Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
A couple different actors and actresses, some stingers, and it's just amazing to have the access.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to anyone in this room, but I
Hey,
mean,
that's
you get that access to Mike Tyson.
Bigger than DiCaprio, for goodness sakes.
Are you gonna tell Mike Tyson that?
Yes. He may bite her ear, though.
I just wanted to follow up real quick on Jessica's point about athletes maintaining their image. It's also really important now that everybody, I mean, if you're going to, especially if you're looking for a job and trying to launch your career, you better handle up on your own social media presence, and make sure that it's clean.
Unless you're Blake Shelton. I don't know where the heck did that come from? If that camp had come to me 3 years ago and wanted to hire me to do their social media, and they said Blake's going to talk to his family, Jules, and he's going to cuss at his followers, and he's going to argue with people, and he's going to tweet drunk, I would have said, you are insane. This is country music.
Well, we do it every week here.
Yeah, and the thing is that had he not, he'll tell you he was just inducted to the Grand Ole Opry. He's on his 11th #1 in a row, 6th #1 album, and he's given a lot of it up to Twitter. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
said
just listening.
Yep.
Oh, what do you guys want to know? Come on, tell me. Amanda's got a question for me. I can tell.
I know. Amanda's ready now. She didn't want to be lead off. She wanted about 5 questions first.
I love Amanda.
I just think it's an interesting, because I have a presence on Twitter. Yours is obviously much higher than mine on Twitter. But coming over to Google Plus and using this video medium is what I think is going to make a real difference in a lot of these brands. The Twitter chat, like you're talking about, is very limited. It's like a brief moment. It's gone forever, and you do all the stats of how many impressions and how many people kind of saw that. But this video is going to go up to YouTube, and we're going to have ongoing viewership that anybody can review anything that's being said. And I think that when it comes to brand promotion, that this is a huge opportunity for a lot of these brands to have a few moments with fans or special guests or people that you want to get involved, and having that saved. And then that continues on for brand promotion. And I noticed you're coming over to Google Plus. You're getting a lot more involved over here. What are your thoughts on the Twitter to Google Plus and, whatever you want to talk about in that area? I'd be interested to hear your opinions on it.
I'm with you, sister. That was one of the things, is getting over to Google Plus is making myself think outside of the 140 characters and the it's over, like you said, in an hour. The problem I have right now, a lot of the people I work with that want to do these chats, they don't want to do video. Like, if I can get them for an hour, they just want to, be anonymous, and they want to lurk, and they're insecure about how they use social media in my medium, in country music. But, I'm going to guess that just because someone's a celebrity or they're high profile, it doesn't mean that they're comfortable around people. And in fact, those people are usually more uncomfortable and stuff like this. So Twitter seems to take away that feeling, like the thing that we feel where we can talk to a celebrity, they feel it with us. And so I get that all the time. Like, celebrities will be like, oh, no one ever talks to me. I'm like, you're freaking blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, I don't know, people, like, these weirdos will talk to me, and people tweet me stuff like weird, like, hey, can you help me do this? Can you do that? He's like, but no one just wants to have, like, a normal conversation with me about my favorite color or what my favorite music is or where I grew up or what I collect, what my favorite TV show is. And so that's one thing about Twitter, where I like Google, because, like, when you put something out and it, like, gets a million, like, things, it's hard, though, because it gets lost in there. Like, one day, I don't know what happened. I put a picture out, and I think maybe you showed it to your audience too, and I ended up with like 2,000 shares and 3,000 comments. And you had told me something the other week, and I listened to you. I listen to everybody that tells me advice, especially when they're doing good like you are. You said talk to everybody. Just, they talk to you like you did on Twitter. Do it like you did on Twitter. And it ruined my ability. Like, I couldn't go through 1,000 things and talk back to everybody. And with tweets, I've taught my eyes now to see, like, what's real. But in here, it's, like, a little bit harder because they're like, so much smaller. I don't know. It's different. I don't know.
It's the same thing, though. The exact thing that you're describing. Yeah. I've taught my eyes now to go through the comments and
okay.
It's the same idea. It's just a learning curve. Yeah. If something goes viral, and it's very easy to make things go viral on Google Plus like that, right? And when that does happen, it's great, but you're going to have to, filter, scan the comments as opposed to plusing or commenting on everything, for sure. It's just a different medium. It's a learning, a little bit of a learning curve, but it's there.
I think, well, that's like the same. People always are like, how do you answer all your tweets? I've conditioned myself to know, the tweets. Like, I don't know how. All the darn shout-outs and the spam stuff. Oh, my God. And the do you want to buy, what's that stuff called? The blue pill? I'm like, no, thanks for offering, Like, just the random stuff on Twitter. I kind of like that G Plus doesn't have that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
They'll find a way to get in.
I don't know.
Well, but one time, I'll tell you, the trolls are kind of fun, though, sometimes, because we'll block them and try and kill them off. It's just really a fun game. So we'll maybe try that at the end of the show. We'll invite a troll on, and then you block them, and then you see how long they'll stay on. It's really fun. So we time it. How quickly can we kill the troll?
Oh, troll murdering.
It's really neat. It's pretty
This might have been what your wife was talking about, Yates.
What?
I said this might have been what your wife was talking about.
No, the trolls, you're supposed to kill trolls, man. That's what it's all about.
Well, and I'm not used to this whole, because I forget. See, this is another thing, is during a tweet chat, the cool potential of a tweet chat is that, okay, so I tweet it, and then you don't know who's going to see it and who's on at that time. Like, Blake Shelton could jump on, or Neil McCoy, or whoever, somebody could, jump on, grab one of my tweets and retweet it. When I'm over here, I'm not, or when I'm in a chat, or a video, I don't tweet. And that's where I've tried to do these live CM chat events, like in Nashville and a couple other places. And what happens is when I'm not in the stream tweeting and catching everything, it loses a little bit of the impact. But I guess, like Amanda said, if I were over here doing more visual, more people would come, I guess. And, I just have to
it's impossible to do both at the same time. Not impossible. It's pretty hard, though.
I'll figure it out. That's how I got into this stuff, is at the radio station I worked at. We were in a meeting, and it was MySpace was the big thing. And I had a roommate. She had just graduated from Notre Dame, and this was 05 or 06, and whenever Facebook was only Ivy League, and they just opened it up to other colleges. And she had graduated, and then they were just opening up to anybody, I think, over 18. I'm trying to remember everything. But I had been working with MySpace, and they were like, well, how can we make money with MySpace? How can we integrate it into our programming for the radio station? They had all these questions, and I was the non-traditional revenue manager, which meant I was the non-spot, anything that wasn't a 60-second commercial. So the internet, our remotes, things that were off, events, concerts, whatever that wasn't a 60-second commercial. So non-spot revenue. And I'm like, I'll figure it out. So I started trying to figure out what we could do on MySpace, and then Facebook came along, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. So we started doing Facebook. Wait, did I say that? I don't know, whatever. But yeah. I just was there. I volunteered, and I said, I'll figure it out. And that's what I keep doing in social media. I joke and call myself a social mediologist, because I think that we're all, like, for anybody to come on this platform and be like, I understand Google+. Here, come to my thing. I'm going to teach you how to use it. Or I'm going to teach you how to use Twitter my way. I'm going to teach you how to use MySpace my way. I'm going to teach you how to use Facebook my way. I'm sorry, there's only like one way to do all this, and it's your way. And what works for one NFL franchise won't work for another. What works for baseball may not work for hockey. What works for Blake Shelton might not work for Jared Neiman or Miranda Lambert. So it's all about doing things and figuring out what works and what hits people. So as far as just figure it out.
Well, that's the kind of stuff, back when I was doing TV stuff, I'll never forget. People always like, oh, you try to be more like this, or they should be like this. I always tell them, just be yourself, because every personality will come out in the end. If you fake it, or if you try and be what you're not over time, it just doesn't work, because you're not who you are. So that is so true. And then the second thing I love your point on, the technology changes so quickly. Don't focus on the technology ever in anything. You focus on the technology, you're toast. You focus on great storytelling, great concepts, great marketing, and then the channel will always change. I just have always told stories, but I used to do it on TV. Now I do it on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. So don't focus on the technology, but focus on the stories.
Right.
All right. So we got Steph in. Hello, Steph.
Hi.
How you doing? You were asking questions, weren't you?
What?
You were asking questions a minute ago.
No, I was listening about what to do with the players on the bench.
Yeah.
And Instagram would be great for that, because fans get to see what's going on and closer than they would normally. Because I follow different celebrities on Instagram, and they promote stuff through the site and release Selena Gomez released the first photo of her perfume line on Instagram. So she got 1,000 likes. So I would watch football players if they were taking pictures all the time. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think. I wonder if they could do that though, because I just think if they caught the wrong thing, or you just to open yourself up for controversy, there'd have to be I think a designated social media person. Yeah, and they could have been a player at some time, maybe someone who. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry. Oh no, I think nobody's better to do stuff like that than someone who used to play it, or someone who's you used to, you said, were in TV on air and you're doing this. I was in country music radio, and now I'm working with country music chat and with country music artists. Mm-hmm. So it's nobody knows your business like you do, and an old baseball player to be tweeting about baseball. And like I said, I think things are going to go more niche, and I think that the celebrity of tomorrow is going to be social media people. I think you're sitting there, Amanda is going to be in the next year or two, when the brands and the people catch on to what's happening over here and the eyeballs that we're all moving, they're going to freak out. Right now, they'll go to a celebrity, and I've seen this happen several times, or a sports celebrity, and they'll say, hey, we want to endorse you because, we're betting that people are going to like this because of you, and they're doing less TV and less radio, and they're planning on that celebrity drawing it all in through their social stuff. And I'm sorry, but a lot of celebrities, I've had celebrity people retweet stuff of mine and get nothing, doesn't go as far as, but I'll retweet their stuff and get 50 retweets. Mm-hmm. So it's I think that we're the celebrities of tomorrow on social media, and the more and more that old media disappears and new media comes up, we're all citizen journalists, and we're going to be, either brokering. I see in the future we'll either be brokering our own deals as advertisers and people giving us stuff, or us making money that way, or I would love to see an agent, and I've talked to a couple agents about this, is repping social media personalities, because we've got numbers. That's an interesting niche right there. I think so too. We got numbers like a radio. I have bigger numbers than any radio station or local TV station around. And when I was working on this deal with a really big name country music artist to get him to fly out to San Francisco when I'm going to be there next month, they said to me, they're like, your country music chat has bigger numbers than the #1 country music station in the nation, and it's not just one city, it's the world. And I'm like, yay, you got a cookie. Right. It's so true. I tell people all the time, I get more views on YouTube than I ever got on Fox TV. It's a different world,
and it's anybody can do this. You just once again, it's open the door. It's cut out the big corporations being in control of the message, where we can control our own message and team up. So let's take over the world. This chat right here, all of us.
I think the music industry is a perfect example that has.
Speak up a little, Steph.
Oh, I think the music industry has been doing the best job of using social media to essentially promote different artists. Like Carly Rae Jepsen might not sound like anyone that you might know, but she's the one that sings "Call Me Maybe." And Justin Bieber did a video to her song, and now it's like it has more hits on the radio, well, not so much on the radio, but online, than like any other artist so far. And so it's like Tanner Patrick. People have been using like YouTube, and people have been representing people using the YouTube videos that they have, which is kind of interesting. Because like I study entertainment arts management with a specialty in social media, so I've been like learning about the entire entertainment industry and the different groups and how they involve social media. And the music industry, I think, has to be the one that has the best examples of how they're using social media, such as YouTube, to find artists. I go to this big convention called APAP, which is it gets all of the nonprofit performing arts groups together, and the different agents look on YouTube and Spotify to find people to represent.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, in the sports theme, you guys have probably heard about the Olympics and how they are trying to funnel all of the social media and block the other interests on it, which I find to be, the wrong way. And I don't know if you've heard about this, Jessica, or not, but isn't this the wrong way to be doing social media, where you're controlling everything? That's the exact problem that that most people are having with social media is social. Did anyone else in here have thoughts on that direction the Olympics is taking?
I think it's going to backfire, but
yeah,
they can have any position they want. Whether it's going to bite them in the arse is one thing, though. You hit it on the nail. I mean, that's
YouTube. You can say ass.
Say arse. My mom will get mad at me if I said it, but I just think it's a big why it's going to happen. It's like trying to tell when you tell a kid, when you put them in a room and you give them crayons and some paper and you say, don't write on the wall, what's the first thing they're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're like that too. So, they're going to try to figure out, and then it's going to look even worse because, they're going to say negative stuff. So just you're trying to control what people are saying about you. Do good things and they'll say good things, right?
You can never control this space. And when you do, you always get burned.
Heck yeah.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. There's plenty of examples. I know a lot of y'all have probably read the book Groundswell. What was the example in Groundswell where what was it, the actress that was so mad that people were getting pictures of her house and she demanded that they be arrested and all this stuff, and all of a sudden it just went viral. Like everybody knew her address, and because she tried to stomp it and shut it out, and that just infuriates people even worse. Because we have a voice now, and if you try and shut that voice up, I think you kind of stir the fire. You're throwing gasoline on the fire. It's a bad mistake.
But what's the point of having a global event with 80-90% of the entire population watching it, but you don't want them to talk about it? You don't want the participants in the Olympic movement is the global village, and we now have the mediums of Twitter and Facebook to truly make it an instant community and village, and the Olympic Committee is like, nah, we don't want that. Like it defeats their own mission statement.
I would look at their ages of what age group it is that controls the committee, because that's an older way of thinking that something's wrong. Social media is nothing. I have my own TV station. That's all. We're a bunch of little TV and radio stations.
Yeah,
so maybe it's more coming from the networks. I don't know. There might be the network is trying to do it so that you have to go there to get it. Because wasn't it like I remember? You could go on anywhere and see it, right? Like people can broadcast it. What exactly are they trying to control?
What they're really scared
Everything?
about. One thing they're really scared about is and it always goes back to money, okay? So these big brands are paying this major money. Coca-Cola sponsoring the Olympics. All of a sudden, they've got Pepsi people going, and Pepsi's better. They're trying to shut out, and you know, they don't want that sabotage kind of getting in there, but it's going to happen. I'm sorry. It's an open forum.
They've basically thrown down the gauntlet and challenged the guerrilla marketers to do their job better, and now they're going to be even more creative. You know?
And I think this goes back to what Jessica was originally saying, in that maybe these networks and old forms of media aren't cutting it anymore. Maybe Coca-Cola needs to start sponsoring, you know, people who are doing YouTube Hangouts and other things that be getting involved with the media, as opposed to going to these networks, and they're scared. They're trying to hold on. They don't like that very much. It'll be interesting to see how it actually turns out. That being said, a lot of these networks have like special film crews, expensive cameras, and getting those really good shots of things that you're not going to get from some guy who's holding up his, you know, camera and taking a picture or something like that. So there are two sides to everything that's going on. So they do need to make that money back for hacking the reporters and all the other stuff that goes along with professional, you know, sports casting and newscasting. So it's an interesting to see, but.
But I think when someone on Twitter mentions, like a couple nights ago, you know, I was watching the Caps game that went 3 overtimes, and then I saw on Twitter that one of the Angels, I think it was the Angels, was throwing a no-hitter. I would have never tuned that game in, would have never even flipped it over to MLB Network, but because I saw on Twitter, hey, he's in the 8th inning, he's getting close to this no-hitter, I tuned in. So if MLB were to block that message and say, no one can tweet about the game, then they would have lost at least one viewer. And I'm sure there's, you know, other people that tuned in just because they saw it on social media.
It's social media is your friend. I don't understand why people are so scared of it, but I guess, you know, I can relate, because till tonight was pretty much one of the first real like Google Hangouts I've done with like a lot of people. And Amanda does them all the time, like every day, and I went to click on hers, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm scared. And, oh, some girl was doing one the other day, and she's someone I know, and I clicked on it, and I got on, and it was some guy sitting there, and he's like, hi, Jessica. She left. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't know who he was. So I guess using my own experience, what's comfortable for one person may not be comfortable for another, and we just kind of got to wait for the rest of the world to catch up to us.
Well, it is interesting when you said the rest of the world. I totally agree with you, because I go back to 4 years ago when the TV station says, hey, we're going to make you head of online sports at the station. I'm like, crap, frickin' just got demoted. And I'd been there for like 15 years. And like, you're going to take me off the air to be online? This is horrible. I froze up for a minute.
I can hear you.
Chris,
you can hear me okay?
Like you have a big ego.
Yeah, so no, I just honestly, I thought I was going to get it. But this was 4 years ago. This was before this all started. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, I'm done. So I left, and then now I've got online. I'm like, ooh, they were onto something. But they were even noticing it back then. And you're so right, Jessica. It's not the networks anymore. We all have our own network. We all have our own broadcast station. And the brands are starting to get it. It took them a while. You know, in the old days, I would try and convince them to do stuff, and they wouldn't. And now they've created their pages, and now they're hiring people to create the content for them. And that's, I want to go back to why I got on CM Chat about a month ago, because Budweiser hired us to do Bud Light Bands, which is country music. And that's where we're bringing Jessica to help out and do some stuff for us on that. Yes. So so the brands do get it now. Amanda, you brought up a point of brands actually hiring people to do their videos, to do their photos, instead of paying the big TV rights. They pay independent people to create their own network. So that's what we're doing.
Well, they need to catch up, though. They're still a little ways behind.
It is interesting to see companies how they, I mean, a lot of them do traditional advertising, but also they bring in a lot of the bloggers or the, you know, social media adept folks to be their ambassadors, and they're allowed to give their own opinions about the products and the services, whether it be good or bad. I think both Microsoft and Verizon are two companies that do a great job of that, where they give a lot of access, you know, pre-release items, products. At CES, I mean, you see buses of the mommy bloggers going to different unique events where they're given phones months before they come out, tablets, and they're allowed to say, like I said, good and bad things about these products because they know that these moms are going to be real, they're true to their own personal brand, and that they have enough followers that, if you get hit up 10% of the 100,000 followers that, Mommy A or Mommy B has, you're going to be making a lot of money. And it's probably a lot cheaper to reach, give some products and whatever else to Mommy A versus you hire Justin Bieber to show up for, a lot more.
I don't know. I mean, in the tech world, we're seeing that, but I mean, I think still talking to regular, just Cracker Barrel or people that could really, really get effective. Like, we know tech people, they're going tech SES or whatever, CES, they're reaching out to the tech people. And like Calvin Mayhem Studios, Calvin Lee, Calvin gets something new every other day. I have people sending me stuff, but I'm thinking like the mainstream brands too. Like, what would be interesting more so to see is like getting so the way, not John Deere. John Deere is kind of a weird example. If you were somebody who did that or had a tractor and farmed and happened to be online and had a good following, it might be interesting for John Deere to be like, I'm going to give you a tractor and pay you, $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month to have conversations with people about your tractor. I think we'll see. I think that would be interesting because the way I can compare it is that when I worked for the radio station, McDonald's would come into my market in Fresno, and our DMA was about a 1.3 million metro, and my stations in my cluster, which was 8, represented probably about 1 million, I guess, and they would come in with like a $10 million budget to buy the market or something ridiculous like that, and then we'd go after our unfair share of the budget and try to get as much money as we could, to place these buys. So we'd do a commercial that would run at 8 o'clock in the morning that cost $600. A 60-second commercial would run once, and that's just $800 flushed down the toilet, right? With us, you could get like 10 times as much exposure, and it'll stay on our line. Like if somebody wants to pay me $300, $500 a tweet, and I do that a few times, I think if it makes sense for me, like sponsored tweets let you write your own tweets. That's why I'm saying we need kind of maybe agents to handle this stuff and negotiate it, and it's still far away. It's a little ways away. Like I negotiate my own deals. Like I'll get money, like this one brand is coming in and they want me to talk about them, and I believe in their brand. That's another thing is I could never endorse like Gypsy Soul. They give me swag and clothes, and they sponsor me when I'm on like the red carpet or when I go to events. I believe in their product. I liked them before I made the deal with them. I mean, I think that carrying people and brands, celebrities, musicians, I think that's the future. So if you want a new job, go out and do that. Just kidding.
Yeah, and the thing too is you don't have to promote the yes, I've switched from Miller Lite to Bud Light. I used to drink Miller Lite. I drink Bud Light, but I'm not doing it all the time. But my point is you don't have to always promote the brands. Like I'll do stuff for Michael's stores. I'm not, knitting. I'm not doing a knitting show on YouTube now, although they get great views. But I'll do storytelling about Michael's stores, or I'll create something around that. But it's not me promoting their product. It's telling stories around that, or like you said, great conversations. I mean, you do great on Twitter, just interacting with people, and you could have that sponsored by a brand, but you don't have to be pumping up the brand or talking about the brand. It's just part of the conversation, even though you're talking about something else. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be a direct pitch on the deal. It could be a conversation around something.
Well, I think just like a commercial, like when you listen to, okay, hear me out here, and I could be totally crazy and off my rocker, which I am. Like
no,
when you tune into your favorite radio station, I always think of social media like you're your own radio station. When you turn in, you have your morning show, you have your midday, you have your afternoon, you have your evening guy, and you have your overnights. So you program certain stuff for it. The station has an overall stationality, a personality, things that are in the station's vision and the way, like Cadillac Jack, playing what we want, when we want to play it, or, there's like a personality, a voice of the station. Yet in the morning, you know that there's 9 units an hour are going to be commercial. So 9 minutes in 1 hour are going to be a commercial. are going to be like, so 9 minutes divided by 30 or 60, you're going to listen to like 15 commercials, probably 5 to 10 promos, and you're only actually going to get 40 minutes worth of music. So when I think of us online, we're really like music and entertainment, and if we can find ways to bring in the sponsored, the dollar stuff, if I'm talking about Gypsy Soul and I'm passionate about it, and I'm telling you how kick-ass cool these boots are, and these earrings, and this, and this. I'm using this tablet, this camera that people sent me, and I'm talking about it. Is it even sound like I'm a commercial?
No, it's great.
And then I'm getting paid? No. But not everybody can do that. I don't know. I guess we're on the verge of something, though.
I definitely have to agree with you. We are on the verge of something, because like the younger generations will be the most documented generations, because like we can write what we're feeling at any given moment, collect everything via Facebook, and it's insane how my little cousin, who's like 12 years old, is using Facebook and recording her bat mitzvah process and kind of using all of these tools to talk about whatever they want. Like, I mean, I might not get paid for it or sponsored, but, like, I've noticed that Victoria's Secret, they do that. They have their own, like, social network, like, for college students and for people who use the iPad app, the Victoria's Secret. So I think that's kind of cool. I feel like more brands should follow what you're saying, and Victoria's Secret is an example of a brand that does it.
As I think it'll be coming. You know how there's national rep agencies that handle like placement of ads and stuff? I think eventually, I really think, I don't know if you could train somebody quick. It'd have to be somebody that came from us, somebody who has a law degree, somebody who's worked in the industry like that. But I really think that's, if you were, I mean, God, can you imagine that? Like, if you could just be the conduit between, like, Coke and Pepsi and McDonald's and this, and matching these advertisers to tweeters, and you get, like, you have, like, 100 tweeters that are whatever your criteria is in your system, and you've got beauty, health, dogs, girl stuff, this, that, and you have each one of these flavors, and you're like, okay, so McDonald's has this new, I look and see, who do I have? Okay, yeah, she wouldn't be McDonald's, not him. Okay, these 3 people, McDonald's. Here's, McDonald's who spent, that's what I'm sorry, I get lost. I just can't keep up with myself, but McDonald's spent millions of dollars
right in here.
to buy less than 3 million people. So they spent millions to buy 1.3 million at the most. Like, even on any given time, my cume on one of my stations, the best cume, our average quarter hour is 15,000 people listening in an hour, 15 minutes, we call it an AQH, that there's 15,000 people maybe that hear that ad. Now us, for that $500, $600, $800,000, whatever your thing is, ad, imagine that if you took that millions of dollars and you built it into people, just us 8 people here, and we each got, 100,000 apiece, we could probably make that thing do way better than it did just sitting there in Fresno.
100% do I agree with every single thing that you're saying. And it's already starting to happen. Like, the brands are starting to realize this. And how, once upon a time we all advertised in the yellow pages, and now that's maybe not necessarily as important as getting online advertising going. And it's a slow process that everybody, do we have to change all of the processes that we have in place already? But we're all here. The world is now online. We're all using some kind of social media. Your grandma's on Twitter or Facebook. I mean, these things are changing all the time, and the brands are slower than the rest of us. But they're coming. It's definitely coming.
Well, I think it's already happening now. I mean, it's happening. This is my full-time job, so I've been doing this for 4 years now. This is where I make my living. And so I've made money off this for 4 years. I don't say, is it going to happen in the future? It's happening now with brands. And I get, when y'all say, do you get paid doing this? Yes, I wouldn't do this for free. This is, I've got to make this work. I got 4 kids. I'll be in trouble. So, yes, this is taking place now. And, I mean, aren't most of you folks wanting to do this for a living? You're probably already making money doing this. Who who in this room is making money in social media. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. So that's great. When we say in the future, I think right here everyone just rose. What is that? 6 out of 8. Who's quick at math? Charles, what is that? 70%.
I just meant, I guess, more of an
It's
average mom or a
Right.
regular person who's not getting some of the money from these brands.
Gotcha.
See, I'm in
So you think what you're saying is it'll be more mainstream?
Yes.
I'd like to see that.
Going in that direction. Sorry, I think I cut Steph off. But
Okay. 75%. That was quick.
Wow, I'm in the process of trying to be paid for social media. Like I'm graduating college, looking for jobs, and so what I've been doing is I've been social media marketing my friend's project, using Stumble Upon and Pearl Trees to market to every filmmaker in every niche, either horror, comedy, or classic, and just trying to promote that. And I've been able, using Twitter, to get film submissions from London and one from California, a couple from France. So it's kind of cool. So I've been using that based off the skills that I've been looking at the job descriptions for social media. I feel like human resources doesn't know how to put social media into their job descriptions. They expect just HR coders or people that blog all the time. They don't. I'm good at finding people, and
Who's got the dog barking?
not me.
I think it's my neighbor.
Oh, that's hilarious. Who let the dogs out, Jason?
Oh,
What advice would you give to people who are?
Ken's got a cat.
I don't know how to mute myself.
Did I mute myself? What advice would you give to people who are looking for jobs in social media marketing and trying to market brands into that role?
They're not calling it a social media person. They're idiots. They're calling it a publicist. And basically, if you're doing social media, you're a new media, or I think it's more like a public relations publicist. I don't even think they know how to call it. And with what you're doing in school and your skill set, I would go looking at stuff that's more like a hybrid social PR.
Yeah.
Oh, who's doggy? I would look like social PR, and I would really go after that because it's way more. I think when you think social media, they want to pay somebody $8-9 an hour to sit there and answer tweets, but to have somebody who's finesse, who can create a story and who can get you in the news and who can get you free radio, free TV, get you placement, partner you talking to Amanda, you talking to Justin Northey, you talking to Chris Yates.
Yeah.
You got to have a skilled PR-ish person.
Yeah. So that's why I've been marketing the film festival, and I did because I'm obsessed with the show Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Because what they did was they marketed on Hulu first, and 2 weeks before it aired on TV, and then they did the second episode. So after I saw the first episode, I made a Twitter account dedicated to that show, and I called it Apartment 43. So I created a story as I lived in the same house or same apartment building in New York City as the girls that live in the show. And then I documented my creation of the story on my other Twitter because I use that for jobs for my other mainstream ones. Because like you said before, people look at personalities on social media, and it's you're marketing your personalities. But the job hunters, are particular on what personalities they want.
Right. No, I think it's they have a really strange, like you said when you're reading the job descriptions. Yeah. They're like, I want someone to tweet for me, or I need someone to blog. I get people call me all the time. They want me to do, hey, will you set up my Twitter account, and I need you to do this? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm really expensive. You're a local business. You probably need that person that's right out of college who can do this. They're like, well, I want it done, I'm like, okay, but it'll cost you. You want a Volkswagen or you want a Mercedes? I'm the Mercedes. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I don't think that way of myself, but I don't like working with brick and mortar businesses anyways because it's
I thought you were going to say Lamborghini.
No, ooh, baby. I think that brick and mortar businesses and social media is such a tough gig, and it's so networky, and I used to dread going to those networking meetings and local.
I hate those.
I fought to that.
Horrible. Those are terrible.
Not that I'm like, I like the drinking part of them. Like, I like the alcohol part. But
There are some that work, though.
yeah, the elbow-to-elbow
I don't like
thing.
the word networking. Those speed dating networking deals. Stand up and I'm like, first time as an entrepreneur, I went to one of those. I was like, okay, you have 30 seconds. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was really creepy and weird.
Yeah, no, not for me.
I just like learning about the people that are there, especially with the arts, because I love being associated with the arts, and like it's just the conventions that they have are ridiculous because there's someone networking with either you're a venue, you're an agent, you're a booking agent, or you're production. You're like all networking, and it's like trying to find jobs that way. It's kind of interesting to hear how they network that way. Besides just like HR people, like the career fairs that they have at Drexel, which is where I go, that like it's not fun at all.
Any place that's just about education and learning best practices where everybody can help each other, those are the best.
Yeah, that's what I found. Even though it's more business related and trying to produce money, it's still kind of cool to see how they market. I think brands should use that model, like, because everyone has a different job in marketing.
And this is the pausing point of the Google Plus Hangout. There's usually.
Well, Steph, I think you made a great point. I mean,
done, Charles? Let Jason go ahead.
I was going to say, about 3 or 4 years ago, you could have been the director of social media for XYZ company just because you had a Facebook or a Twitter account. And I think now it's a little bit more of a refined process when it comes to hiring because they don't just want someone who knows how to Twitter or Facebook, but they also want someone who has a background in marketing or event management or PR communications. So you definitely need to be more well-rounded. And it sounds like you're on the right track with going to these events, running these events. And the key thing that I heard that is fantastic that you should highlight is you can create your content, create your own content to stick to your messaging, stick to your brand, and that is what people want. Because you have to look at it. In the 60s, there were 3 channels, and they didn't even broadcast 24 hours a day. They stopped when people went to bed. So there's only 60 hours of content a day. Well, now there are 1,000 TV stations, 3,000 radio stations, hundreds of newspapers. There's Google, Twitter, Facebook, anything you can imagine, and they're all looking for content. So if you can create content, especially content that everyone wants to watch and consume, you are already ahead of the game. And I kudos to what you're already doing. It sounds like you're already on the right track.
Build your brand early. Okay.
Yep.
I like to keep this thing on time because when we go over, it just people get tired. And
No, my first hangout. I don't want it to end.
We have to go overtime.
We do after parties.
Okay, I'm coming over to Amanda's page. Woohoo.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Charles is the producer. Charles, do you want to kick these people off, or are you going to be the mean guy?
Well,
I just hate getting people on, and especially as a guest when you're, I told you it'd be an hour and we're going past. It's I don't want to keep you too long.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, we can stay on air as long as you like.
Yeah, but then at some point people just kind of start weeding off. All right, let's do. You want to do a 10-minute overtime, Charles?
Well, let's go on to 10:30 and we'll be good.
12 minutes? Wow. Okay. Are you all good with that?
Chris, people can listen to you all night long.
Yeah.
You guys are going to think about view time when people go to watch this video.
The first part of it.
Oh, yeah.
My wife told me to be nice tonight, so I was being polite.
You're doing a great job tonight. You were little wheels last week.
You're in control right now.
Thank you.
Does this mean there's just the people that I can see that are watching right now? Like, how do you know?
There's an additional 5 people. I know that being the producer of this.
Oh, you can see, like, people can watch it even though...
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, it's streamed on YouTube Live right now and also on my YouTube channel. And it's also streamed on my page on Google Plus as well as any other page that it's shared on. It can also be embedded on any website. there's quite a bit of
So
opportunity.
once this is over, when does it normally? When do we normally get the link, Charles?
What, for the show?
Yeah.
It's on my feed within minutes afterwards now. They've really sped the process up.
Okay, so we'll send that to y'all, and you could share it and keep it or put it on your website or do whatever.
And I also convert all of these over to audio and share them that way as well.
We are completely opposite from television, radio, newspaper. We want everybody to have our content for free. Take it, run with it, use it, share it, love it. Yeah, you're right. Amanda's right about that. Regular Hangouts, no, it's an on-air broadcast.
I
So Amanda, is that?
Hangouts.
Do you have an on-air broadcast?
I do have it. I just generally am talking about, what's going on. I said about. I know you. I saw the smirks from the Canadian there, but. But generally, I'll have a discussion about, like what's going on in the news today, or what's happened, or what. And it's just personal people, a couple of people in the room having a discussion about a topic. So I don't generally do on air. But I have. It's just a different process.
Which one do you like better?
Doing this, you do this sports show every single Sunday?
Every Sunday night.
Okay.
We do one Sunday, we do another on Tuesday, and then the page that I have, I can have multiple managers on, so I'd like to get a couple other producers to assist me with that. And
he does all the Google. He does all the Google Calendar as well. So Google Calendar,
the shared calendar events.
Shared calendars of all the Hangouts.
Yeah.
Of all Hangouts?
A good portion of them.
Oh, cool.
I'll put a link
running
up.
Google, basically.
Yay for running Google. You have the world. I'm scared of you. I'm so scared. I won't even. I shouldn't say this out loud on Google, but I'm afraid to check Google checkout. I use PayPal, but I won't sign up that Google checkout because I'm like, they have my email, they have my website analytics, and they have my docs. I mean, like, seriously, I'm SCREWED if anything ever happens to my... Come here.
Google runs the world.
This is my...
Ah, cute.
No.
I watched a documentary on Google, and, like, they basically have a profile on you.
Steph, we can barely hear you. Speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There's a sponsor.
Oh, sweet. I forgot what I was
You
gonna
dog. Can you hear me now is what you said.
Oh, yeah, I use that often. I forgot completely what I was going to say. Never mind.
So, I mean, just with the sports hangout, are you guys looking for guests or, people involved in sports? Or do you want people?
Absolutely.
Because I come across people all the time that are looking for specialized hangouts, and I haven't found... I know there's one sports talk show, but I haven't seen very many in the sports genre, oddly enough. So
Yeah, we've had Darren Woodson on, Bill Bates,
former Cowboy.
from the Cowboys. We've had former Cardinals
cool.
players on here, and...
Don't forget Minchie, Kevin Minch.
Yeah, Minch.
Kevin, we had former Major League Baseball player. Then we've also had social media folks that helped with the Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Suns. So it's not necessarily always players, because we want to talk a little bit more strategy and business and marketing.
Yeah.
So it's more sports business chat. But we will get some players on that are, doing more of the interactive. Like the guys we brought on, one has like an app, another one has his own baseball. What was it? What does Minch have? He had a batting cage.
Your batting cage.
So, but yeah, we're always open for guests.
Wait, I have one question that's sports related. That's like, for the Olympics, are they gonna do what they did, like they did for the Super Bowl, and have streaming of all the live events, have specific online commercials, and then put them on Hulu, the ones that actually air, or on another?
I'm not sure anybody. I don't know.
I'm not sure if they are. I know they're going to have a pretty aggressive on all the NBC-owned channels. It's going to be, like the NCAA does now, with every event is pretty much on just about all the time.
Because, like, I don't have access to a TV, so I watch everything online, even, like, sports events.
Wow.
Wow.
I will
That's
watch,
amazing.
like, even in class, there'll be people, we'll have sports arguments, in my HR class, and while people are watching like the Flyers game or whatever other games are on, like it's just like, I don't know, in the online world, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, do you think they might do that? Because I learned from studying my major that how the networks are broken down, and it's all like how ESPN is owned by Disney, and how like they're only out for profit, and it's so when like even when there was SOPA, like they wouldn't advertise about it or talk about it because they're all owned by either like News Corp, Time Warner, all of those different networks. But do you think that they would finally realize that people are not always watching TV and watching it online and illegally streaming? Because if I can't get it on NBC.com, I will find like 4 other sites that will be streaming it online and like talking about it.
Oh, like in Seinfeld when he filmed that movie?
Yeah.
Kramer. Remember Kramer was filming that movie? No, that was awesome.
I think at least NBC.
Everyone remember that episode. That was great.
I think NBC kind of gets it. I mean, you see their with their football coverage when they have the game of the week, that they'll put the different angles and the additional commentary online. You saw it last night with the Kentucky Derby, where they had a lot of content, actually a lot of really, really good content online versus just on regular broadcast. It would be nice, I agree with you, it would be nice to see ESPN, a couple of the other networks kind of complement their broadcast with what's online.
Well, Coachella actually broadcast live for the 3 days, for the first weekend that they were live through YouTube Live with State Farm. And then there was another, this weekend was the New Orleans Jazz Festival that they were promoting through YouTube Live. So, I mean, the music industry is definitely there.
Well, the Oscars, I thought, did one of the best jobs out there. Where there you could watch the Oscars online, and they had like 4 different, actually it was probably about 6 different cameras. And right when they take them off the TV, then you see them go to the backstage and they interview them backstage online. Then they take them into the press conference. It was really interesting. So you could be your own producer at home, clicking on what you wanted to watch.
Yeah, we do the same. We do the same thing with Virgin Fest. It's on about a 10 or 15 minute delay, just because it's on the logistics that we have going on. I mean, it's not as timely as a sporting event. So if you hear, you see a concert 15 minutes later, it's not, as dramatic or late as it is for sporting events.
All right, we're now 3 minutes away. This time we're going to shut it down. So the way we end it is everyone has 30 seconds, but of course we'll give Jessica maybe even 60 to say how great this show was, or what she learned, or if she wants to do it again, or final thoughts. You can talk about whatever. I don't care. So first we'll start with Steph, but Steph, keep it short.
Okay.
Because we've got the big ones going next. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Steph. This was a great opportunity. My first hangout. I got to talk about social media and learn about who are people in the industry as opposed to being a user, and what they're doing. And learn about sports and social media and sports. And I just thought it was a great experience.
All right, Miguel, you're up.
Hey, Chris, you guys did a good job tonight. Jessica, you gave a wealth of knowledge. You're doing a great job, and it just opens up the mind in terms of how to expand on what we're talking about. Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, Ken.
Oh, I'm typing. I'm sorry. Good stuff tonight. It made up for kind of there was not a lot of questions that jumped off the table at the SB chat tonight for me, so I'm glad. And I was more into this and getting some great knowledge from Jessica, so thanks for dropping on tonight.
Jason, you're up. Roger,
Jessica, Jessica, I just want to say thanks for stopping by, and you have displayed enough sass that I will follow you on Twitter, and looking forward to stopping by your CM chats on Tuesday nights.
Thanks.
Charles.
What time is your chat?
Me, 6 o'clock Pacific, same as this one, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, for an hour. It's done differently, though, because it's like I have a guest on, like tomorrow, I have Daryl Worley, and so I ask him a question. Like, I always start CM chat, like I do Q1, blah, 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 CM chat, and he does A1, blah, 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 CM chat, and I get through like 10 questions, and then I let everybody go. That way, people don't ask him the same stuff over and over and over again.
He does a great job with that chat.
Right? Not, you said
Phenomenal chat. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll come back to you, Jessica. All right. Charles, go for it.
Yeah, I'd just like to really just thank you all for coming on this evening, and providing your insight. And we've all, I think, taken a lot from this Hangout, and probably one of the better ones that we've had. So thank you a lot for coming on.
Thanks.
Amanda, you didn't want to start, but you're going to finish, and then Jessica will have closing comments.
It was just, I'm glad you guys got me an invite. You guys, this was the first time I've been invited to a Google Hangout via Twitter first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, I was mentioned in comments on Twitter, and I was going to be here, and I was like, that's great, and I booked it, and I reserved it, and it's been great. So it was awesome to meet everybody, and I'll be sure to circle everyone in here who I haven't yet. But anyway, thanks.
All right, Jessica, what did you think?
That was my fault because they said, who do you want to invite to the thing because we have to send them an invitation. I go, make sure you invite Reg and Amanda, and I didn't know, and they thought I met you were coming. It's my fault. But thank you for not, for coming, and I want to circle everybody here too, so will you give me your things? Like, I'm stuck. Oh, it says, am I still here?
It'll be on your page when we're done. You'll be
Oh, it said, are you still? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I just had a really good time, and I'm an open book. If you ever need help with anything, just shoot me a tweet or a circle or whatever you do on Circle. Like, let me know if you need anything. I'm pretty easygoing.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate you coming on. Interesting stuff, and look forward to seeing you in Dallas. And everybody, this was great. Way to go. Is that the close? Charles, every Sunday night, 8:15. Goodbye. Try and wrap me up so we really seem like we're big time. Okay, I'm getting the wrap here. Okay. All right.
Yay! Amanda, can you do another one of these? Can you start one?
You can actually stay in this one.
Oh, you can? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
there's no. Now we're off.
Oh, we're not on. We're not live on Google or.
I'm gonna exit and then we'll be off.
But y'all can.
But y'all will stay in here.
Oh.